What's going on, guys? It's Fantasy Stock Exchange here, bringing you another fantasy football mock draft. Again, we're doing these every Friday and Tuesday. Tuesday will be the draft, best ball, while Fridays are going to be just the Fantasy Pros mock draft, where me and Corey are going to hop on, go through some strategies, what we're planning to do. So today we actually got a 10-team full PPR mock draft with Corey picking from the 1 slot and myself picking from the 6 slot. So Corey, I mean, I know who you're going to go with number 1, but is there any other person you should be considering at number 1 in a PPR format, or in any format, to be honest?
I'm going with Michael Thomas here, obviously, right? No. Christian McCaffrey is the 101 in PPR and half PPR and standard in tight end, a 6 tight end league, whatever the league is. He's 101.
5 quarterback.
I don't care what league you're in. It's Christian McCaffrey is the 101.
For sure. So after he went with Christian McCaffrey, we saw Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott. I'm actually going to get the other draft board on for you guys. Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, Alvin Kamara, and then Michael Thomas come off the board. So again, I am on the clock here with the 106, and the 2 guys I'm really considering here are Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook. They're really so close for me. I'm probably going to give Cook the edge because of the PPR, but if it was standard or half, I would go with Henry. It's that close for me. Again, we know what we were getting with both. With Cook, you kind of get the all-around game. He's going to be a little more involved in receiving game. While with Henry, I mean, he is basically a lock to finish as a top 3 overall rusher in the entire league. Like, he's going to be an animal, but I'm going to go with Cook, mix it up. I go with Henry a lot, so I'm fine with either of those picks, especially Cook in the full PPR.
For what it's worth, I actually wouldn't be opposed to picking Clyde Edwards-Helaire there.
That is true too. I definitely would have considered it. He would probably be my 7 or 8. Him and Eckler are like really close for me. Full PPR, it's close between them because they're both going to catch a ton of passes. But I don't really have to talk about that too much because looking at it, Austin Eckler makes it to me in a full PPR at the 205. That's a steal, guys. Like, I mean, all these fantasy analysts are talking about, oh, he ate all the satellite backs because he posted one photo where he was ripped. It's like, if you didn't believe in him before a freaking photo, why are you hopping on now? People are so, like, fantasy community is just a joke in that regard. But you guys know how much me and Corey have been hyping him up even before he drops one photo and people go wild because of it. So let's go with Austin Eckler, and I'm really happy with that selection.
Yeah, and I actually don't have a lot of experience picking at the 101 slot, so I'm not really sure where I'm going to go with my second pick here. Nick Chubb's still on the board, as is Aaron Jones.
Definitely interesting.
Yeah, receiver-wise, I mean, I think it's kind of a tear break after Godwin went off the board. This might shock some people. I'm going to pick Aaron Jones over Nick Chubb in a full PPR. To me, Nick Chubb has like absolutely zero pass-catching upside. I can actually pick both, which I just realized because I do have back-to-back picks, but I don't think I'm going to because, like I said, he just doesn't have. You know, I'm going to pick Travis Kelce.
That's a good pick as well.
My other pick. I think at the 301 with, and this is keep in mind, if you're in a 10-team league, one of the biggest advantages you can get is to have a stud tight end in a 10-team league because pretty much everyone's going to have good running backs and good receivers. So having a Kelce or a Kettle is actually a huge advantage.
Yeah, I fully agree. I'm actually going to go with George Kittle here, even though you're mentioning it. I was hoping Nick Chubb would make it back to me. Again, everybody kind of knows I'm a little lower on him overall, but, man, he would have been my RB3. That's insane. Yeah. But looking at it, though, George Kittle's going to be the pick. I'm realistically not going to – as much as I like Melvin Gordon, I'm not going to take Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette, any of these running backs over him. And then if you're actually looking at the receivers, these guys are kind of all in a tier for me up to DJ Moore, I would say. So A-Rob, Galladay, Juju, Evans, and DJ Moore, even Robert Woods. I would be fine with any of them as my wide receiver 1. One of them is going to make it to that 4th round selection. So give me George Kittle. Again, you mentioned the positional advantage in a 10-team league. So I'm going to lock that down and be very happy with that pick. Kittle Kelce was actually a recent discussion on a past ADP battles on the Saturday. So if you guys want to see our thoughts on both those guys, go check that out. But as I mentioned, back on the clock here, and Robert Woods is here for me. I can quickly take a look at the running backs. Good options here. I might even – let me see the receivers. Okay, so if I don't go with Woods, realistically, I could be looking at like Chark, McLaurin. One of those guys is my wide receiver 1, but all these guys have running backs locked up. So I'm gonna play it safe. Make sure I do get a wide receiver one. I'm gonna lock up Robert Woods and hope another running back makes it to me, especially considering I already have 2 locked down. So I'm gonna go with Robert Woods. I have all the faith, confidence that he is going to be a wide receiver one, especially in PPR formats for the 2020 NFL season.
Yeah, a lot of receivers just went off the board there. It was like 8 of the last 9 picks were receivers.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got Cooper Kupp still on the board, so I'm still loving that, and AJ Brown. So I'm gonna go with both of those guys right here.
Good little stack up there.
Yeah, AJ. Actually, I'll plug this real quick. I posted a thread on Twitter about a month ago where I basically looked at rookie receivers who had 750 receiving yards with less than 100 targets in their rookie season. And basically what I wanted to know was, did their targets increase? Because me and Danny have talked about this on numerous occasions. When someone's efficient with low targets, usually that leads to more targets in the future. And with all the rookie receivers from this past year, they all should expect a target increase based on the data that I found. So at Football Stock on Twitter, if you want to go check that thread out.
Yeah, I mean, talking about AJ Brown's efficiency, wasn't he basically 13 yards per attempt last year when targeted? Like, that's insane. But talking about AJ Brown, we love him, especially with the upside. I mean, he's just such a phenomenal player. I'm going to lock down my RB3 here in Melvin Gordon. Getting him in the 5th round is just straight robbery, especially if freaking Chris Carson's going to go above him. So lock him down as my RB3. And let's see what receiver makes it back. Hopefully these guys just – okay. Oh, I thought Terry was going to make it back to me. You know, I would have been celebrating.
Oh, there's a guy on the board right now with top 5 upside in AJ Green. So
facts. I mean, what a stud. Looking at the receivers here, my best bet would be Michael Gallup, but I do think he makes it back to me. Could he? I don't know. I mean, let me just take a look at about who's available. I mean, I'm not really going to touch any of these guys
on the board right now.
Yeah, I'm not locking down the quarterback yet. I already got the tight end locked down, but I think I could go DeAndre Swift too, especially because this is 2 flexes. It'd come down to Swift or JT, I would say, because I have stability at the running back position. If I had a little more risk, I could lock down an Ingram. But looking for upside, I go with Swift a lot. Let me mix up and take JT in the 6th round.
Yeah, he's a little bit Nick Chubby in the way that I look at him. That in a full PPR, I think I'm out on JT at his current price. I probably would have gone Swift there. But I mean, yeah, like you said, you have a lot of exposure to Swift, so I understand it.
Yeah, I usually go him.
I'm going to laugh all the way to the bank because Mark Ingram's going to be a top 5 running back for the first 5 weeks of the season. I just got him in the 6'10", so I'll definitely take him. And then looking at the other positions here, I mean, quarterback's kind of tempting. I'm not going to lie, but it's kind of a boring play right here. But I'm going to pick David Montgomery as my 4th running back because if nothing else, David Montgomery is going to get volume, and he was actually relatively efficient with his receiving work that he got, and Tariq Cohen was not. So there's a chance that he gets more volume in the passing game, and in a full PPR league, David Montgomery could have like a 300 touch season, and you're pretty much a lock to finish as a top 15 running back if you get that much volume.
For sure. I agree with that. Looking at the board here, it kind of really bothers me because I wanted one of Gallup, Debo, or Marquise Brown. That's the reason why I didn't go wide receiver at the last pick. Now I'm in a predicament where, like, I'm probably going to take Brandon Cooks, but, like, he's a teardrop, in my opinion, from those 3 guys that I was targeting. So looking at it, I mean, I have my running back locked down, not worried about that. I definitely needed a receiver. And, I mean, Brandon Cooks, like we've talked about it multiple times, out of the Texans receiving options, we do believe he is the guy that could ultimately be the wide receiver 1 there. So definitely like Cooks. I'm going to lock him down here. And, yeah, we'll see what happens next. But I could be tempted at taking – yeah, I was going to take – oh, okay, never mind.
There goes the quarterback.
Well, I mean, might have to take your boy if that's the case, especially in the 10 team, getting him in the 8th round. Yeah, I'm just going to take Deshaun Watson. Like, I wanted one of those guys to fall to me, but yeah, 3 of them went off the board, so I get the last one in that tier, in my opinion. So, I don't know. Receiver's kind of weak for me, but whatever. I like the team overall, especially that running back depth. So, well, who are you thinking here at the 8, 10, 901?
I'm going to go with Anthony Miller. I think in a full PPR league, he showed the target upside last year. And with my other pick, who's on the board? Devin Singletary's still on the board, and I can't pass him at this
Holy
point.
crap.
I think I just have to pick him. I know I have 4 running backs already, but like this just to me just screams value. So I'm going to go with Devin Singletary. I'm probably not picking a running back for the rest of the draft.
Sure. I did not expect
Is
so
DeAndre
many.
Swift still on the board?
Yeah, it makes no sense to me why all the running backs are
I
staying
mean,
on the board.
it's a 10-team league, so it's expected that players are going to shift down a little bit. But I mean, it's the 9th round.
Yeah, I mean, how many receivers do we have? We have to start 3 receive. Oh, I said it wrong. Okay, I thought it was 2. That's tough. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna draft it like it was set to a two receiver league because that's what I thought it was the whole time. So, yeah, if I'm under the assumption it's a 2 receiver team, like DeAndre Swift's not making it out of the first 10 rounds, like that's just not a thing. That makes a little more sense. I was confused as to why so many receivers were going off, but I guess we set it to 3 receivers, which
I'm gonna pretend like that's not a thing because I have Anthony Miller as my 3rd receiver.
yeah,
I thought it was 2 flexes, 2 running backs. But
that's what I thought too. But I guess fantasy pros just love setting crappy default lineups because I mean we see the analysts that are on that. I'm not even gonna get into that, but
Lamb's still on the board.
I'm honestly tempted about taking him right now. Let me just see a couple of guys I can get later on too to kind of give me a little more balance. But I'm gonna take CeeDee Lamb here. I mean, it's the 10th round, realistically. At this point, I mean, with all the flex plays, you get a guy like that off your bench with that much upside, like it's a no-brainer. So lock him down. I'm happy with that. Always some more safety plays I can get later on in the draft.
Yeah, I'm looking at the receiver position again as well. And you know who's a guy I don't get a lot of exposure to that I'm actually going to pick right here? Or is he still on the board? Am I tripping? Why is it showing me fucking – okay. Wide receivers. Oh, no, he went. Damn it. I was going to pick Mike Williams, actually.
Oh, he went? He's here.
Oh, is he there? Okay.
Yeah,
why
47.
is he not showing? Okay, there we go.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about Manuel Sanders
Williams,
for a second.
He's actually the weird thing about Mike Williams is that he had a 10 touchdown season 2 years ago, and then he had a 2 touchdown season last year. So I think he's due for some positive regression in the touchdown department. Like he had a 1,000-yard season and only had 2 touchdowns. Like I don't think that's going to happen again, and I don't think like the offense is going to be super explosive or anything. But I do think he's a young ascending player, and I think you can't really go wrong picking players like that. I'm also going to stack him with another guy that I like in Jerry Jeudy.
Fuck! I was hoping he made it back to me. Damn. Oh, and me. Oh my God, J.K. Dobbins still on the board. What is going on? Okay. News out of Philly is that a lot of like Marquise Goodwin opted out. Alshon Jeffrey's going to start on the injured list. Maybe a little bit risky because he hasn't had the camp, but I like that for Jalen Reagor. It gives him a big opportunity. Again, people are going to say, "Oh, he's worked in multiple receiver positions, yada yada yada." He's going to get a lot of hype, but ultimately, Carson Wentz is going to need targets on the outside, and Jalen Reagor wasn't picked in the first round for no reason. Like he was picked because they're going to rely on him. So I'm going to lock up Jalen Reagor, and hopefully your boy Brashad Perriman falls back to me.
Yeah, I have him queued right now.
Yeah, don't worry. I was taking him regardless. Yeah, I'm going to lock up Brashad Perriman, get my 5th receiver. I mean, not the greatest receiving core, but I really feel like at least one of these 3 guys is going to step up in a big way. And now we're seeing the tight end run happen, so thank God we locked those.
Speaking of runs, I think I might start another one here because Matt Ryan is on the board in the 12th round, which is disgusting. So I can't pass Matt Ryan there. And at the onesie positions, I mean, having Matt Ryan and Travis Kelce lock down those positions is pretty good predicament to be in.
Sure.
In terms of, I'm probably looking at more receiver depth just because my team is so deep at running back. I don't want to draft another one.
Yeah, same.
I'm looking for just pure upside here, and I think N'Keal Harry is the best of that group on the board. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pick Deshaun Jackson because you said Marquise Goodwin is out, right?
Yeah.
And Jalen Reagor is a good rookie, but if he struggles, man, Deshaun Jackson, is for as long as he's on the field, however long that is before he gets injured because he's Deshaun Jackson, he's going to be really good. And you saw in week 1 last year, the only game he played, he came out and torched the Redskins. Well, guess who he plays in week 1 again this year? Fucking Deshaun, fuck the Redskins. He's going to torch him again.
For sure. I'm going to lock down a guy that we really like here. I mean, me and you both. I was going to lock him down, but I don't know. He'd be my 3rd rookie if you can get that hint. I was thinking about Michael Pittman Jr. here, but you know what? We're going for upside. Let's get the rookies. Let's love it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Michael Pittman. And then I'm going to do something in the 14th round that may honestly shock you. I mean, I'm taking a ton of receivers right now
If you
because
take
let's be
Sammy
honest.
Watkins, you're fired.
Yeah, don't worry. That's not the guy I'm taking. I'm actually going to be taking Randall Cobb. I have Brandon Cooks. So realistically, one of those two, in my opinion, is going to be a viable target, especially because I have Deshaun Watson. So ultimately here, we know both those guys are a guy like Brandon Cooks is kind of prone to like going in and out of games. Again, I mean, I'm just talking about last year. In and out of games, wasn't playing 100%. If he's ever like that and they ever decide to sit him for a week, like Randall Cobb is going to have legitimately top 15, top 20 upside on that week. So I don't want to consider this a handcuff because I do believe that he does have like good standalone value as the third target in that offense. But I really like getting a guy like Randall Cobb. He's going to be safe, especially in a full PPR in the 14th round. So I definitely like that.
Oh, I think we have some breaking news here.
What happened?
As we're recording this,
Your
the
boy.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers have signed LaShawn McCoy. So to me, that means that Keyshawn Vaughn 100% has COVID-19 because he's on the COVID-19 reserve list, and he doesn't worry me at all for Ronald Jones for the record.
By the way, the fact that it was LaShawn McCoy just makes me even more believe that it's going to be Rojo season. Because let's be honest,
and the fact that if it was Devontae Freeman, it makes me a little bit more nervous because Devontae Freeman's not good either, but like he has more cachet to his name at this point in his career, and he like probably would command more volume. And speaking of commanding volume, there's literally no one in the Patriots passing game besides Julian Edelman and James White. So I'm going to pick N'Keal Harry, who's inexplicably on the board in the 14th round.
Yeah, that's insanity. Talking about it, people are going to find a way to say, they brought LaShawn McCoy to dent Rojo, yada, yada, yada. Just got the terms of the contract. They signed him on a 1-year vet minimum. Yeah. If you guys think a 1-year vet minimum is going to actually impact Ronald Jones, you guys are mistaken.
What it tells me is that Vaughn's going to be behind. And they're worried about Keyshawn Vaughn being behind. And if anything happens to Rojo in camp, they're fucking screwed at running back because Keyshawn Vaughn won't be up to speed. So they're probably just bringing in McCoy as like a camp body, and he might even get cut if Keyshawn Vaughn impresses them.
For sure. Makes sense.
I'm gonna go with Jonnu Smith. I know I have Travis Kelce, but this is the type of player that in week one I'll probably know what I'm getting out of Jonnu Smith, and I can trade him if this was like an actual league and not a mock draft. And again, I've said this on multiple occasions. High upside picks at the end of drafts don't just have to be running backs and wide receivers. They can be tight ends and quarterbacks as well. Because people will trade for, maybe not so much quarterbacks in a one quarterback league, but in people will trade for valuable tight ends. If you have a breakout tight end on your bench because you have a stud like Travis Kelce, you can get decent value for someone like Jonnu Smith if you were to break out.
Yeah, I mean that was going to be my pick, so now I'm sad. There's no real I might just lock Hawkinson. I mean, I have Kettle. I'm going to get mini Kettle according to everybody on Twitter.
Yeah,
they're working out
the same kind of situation with Hawkinson. You should know what his role is going to be in the offense pretty early on in the season. You hold him on your bench for 2 weeks, and if he sucks, you trade him for dirt or you cut him.
Not to mention the thing with Hawkinson is he's such a widely talked about player, and especially in the Dynasty community. Like people hype him up all the time. So maybe in
95 out of 100.
Yeah, mine was bad because I fucking took no receivers.
I think it's because I got Matt Ryan in the 12th round.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know what was going on with those freaking ADPs, man, but that shit was wild.
Look at me. Projected standings, I'm at the top. Starters, I'm at the top. Just annihilating everyone.
Yeah, look at this receiver run in like the rounds 4 to 6, man. Like AJ Green's going round 6 is gross.
Yeah, like the receivers definitely flew off the board real fast there.
Like realistically, I like Brandon Cooks. Hypothetically, if you give me one like a Michael Gallup, Debo, or a Marquise, and then I get Cooks on the fucking way back in the 8th and get a quarterback later on, like that team is so much better. I did not think freaking 7 receivers would go off the board.
Can we just take it and then I have David Montgomery and Devin Singletary on my bench?
Yeah, literally. That's crazy.
David Montgomery's in one of my flex spots. Never mind.
Holy crap! I can't believe you took Singletary over Swift, bro.
I know. I didn't even see Swift, to be honest.
Damn.
I thought he was off the board, so I just picked Singletary. That one would be more of a team makeup kind of thing. Like, yeah, I would probably take Singletary if my running back core wasn't very strong and I need like a starter right away. If he was like my RB2 or my RB3, but if I'm like, Swift. If Swift's my RB3 and I have like 2 studs and like 2 stud receivers, I can afford to take someone like DeAndre Swift, but. Yeah, okay, I'll recap my team here because this team would probably win the championship in any league. Matt Ryan, Christian McCaffrey, Aaron Jones, Cooper Kupp, AJ Brown. We're not going to count Anthony Miller as a starter because we thought we were only starting 2
Yeah.
receivers. Travis Kelce, Mark Ingram, and David Montgomery. That is a disgusting starting lineup. And then I have Devin Singletary, Anthony Miller, Mike Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Jonnu Smith, N'Keal Harry, and Deshaun Jackson on my bench.
Yeah, that's definitely a strong lineup. I do like the way mine came out. The only issue I think I would have had if I would have fixed if I knew is if I knew the
receiver. Take Deshaun Watson. I didn't even notice you did that.
Yeah. If I knew that the receiver position was going to thin out so fast, I would have taken Gallup where I took JT and then looking at
Lamb's a starter on your team.
Yeah, CD Lamb. But let's just pretend that he's not, and that's a wide receiver, 2 receiver set. Yeah. So I got Deshaun Watson on my quarterback, Dalvin Cook, Austin Eckler, Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks, George Kittle, Melvin Gordon, and JT in the flex spots. Then I got on my bench CD Lamb, DeAndre Swift, TJ Hawkinson, Jalen Reagor, Rashad Perriman, Michael Pittman, and Randall Cobb. So I definitely like how that team turned out. Again, if I were to have known the receivers were going to, like 7 receivers were going to go in the 9 picks right before I picked back, like I would have taken one. But like at the end of the day here, I do like how that team turned out, especially like I have 5 legitimately, like I could realistically, like 5 weeks in the season, have 5 legitimate top 15 running backs. Like Dalvin, Melvin, like it's just really insanity. Especially, I mean, every team's going to really look stacked in a 10-team league. So, but I really do think that both our teams would definitely be viable championship contenders in this format. But yeah, maybe that's just Fantasy Pros saying, hey, 3 receivers. That means that like 30 are going to go off the board between like your 2 picks. So anyways, that was a fun little mock we did, 10-team full PPR. Again, we're going to be doing these every Friday, kind of mixing up how many teams we got in the league, PPR, scoring settings, lineup settings, everything. So if you guys enjoyed this mock draft, please comment down below what are your guys' thoughts on our team. Like and subscribe, and we're going to be coming at you with these. But anything you want to add before we head out of here, Corey?
Yeah, we're also going to be starting our rankings videos. So coming up next week, we'll be starting those. Keep an eye out for that. It'll just be me and Danny on the shows, so there's not going to be 4 of us. If you were tuned into us in June, there was a lot of arguing, and it was hard to keep track of. With 2 of us, it's a lot easier to get our points across, and we can dig deeper into each player and whatnot. So we'll probably go like 12 receivers, 12 running backs, etc. So definitely tune into that. And if you want our full rankings, make sure you hit the link in the description where it says get the draft guide here. It's $5. It's a brand new site that we got. We got the site transferred over, so it looks a lot cooler now for you. So make sure you tune into that, and also join the Discord as well. There's a lot of trade advice going on this time of year.
Oh, for sure. That Discord's about to be popping, so stay tuned for that. And if you guys haven't already, I mean, the draft guide is live. It's dropped. Go check it out. I mean, we put a lot of effort into that, guys, and I know you guys will definitely love that, especially like we mentioned, both those 2 guides, in-season draft guide and off-season draft guide, are both going to be $5, and then the all-in is going to be $15, where every single week we'll hop on with you with a private call. We'll talk about your team, talk about what strategies we think you should implement, etc. Basically, co-manage your team with you. So definitely go check that out. That'll be linked in the description of this video. But yeah, until then, peace out, y'all.